hear me and hear me well, just say hi, Alicia, in the question box. I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So hi, Alicia, in the question box. And let's make sure that my audio sounds good. You guys can hear me. And I'm coming through nice and clear. All right, great. I see that I'm coming through. So hi, everybody. Thanks for that. Hi, Terry. Hi, Ron. Appreciate that. And Ed. So thank you guys all for joining us. We're just going to give it a few more minutes here before we get started. Again, I said we've got a really special treat for you. A longtime friend is coming on to teach you some really hot stuff. So get a pen and paper ready. If you know somebody that should be on this webinar but they're not here yet, make sure that you send them all of the information to get on. We want to make sure that they're here and you're taking notes. So let's just give it a minute. Harlan, are you there?
I am here, Alicia. How are you doing?
All right. I'm doing great, and you sound great. Now, if you guys can hear our special guest, Harlan, just type hi, Harlan, in the question box. He sounds great to me. Let's make sure that you guys can hear him. We're excited to have him on tonight, so a nice hi, Harlan, would be good. All right, Ron says hi, so they can hear you, Harlan. You sound nice and clear.
Okay, just so that you guys know, Alicia and I are very old friends. Gosh, going back to like 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
And
it's been a while. Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you hear people call each other in internet marketing. They call themselves friends, and they met like 3 minutes before the webinar. But I want you to know that we are in fact friends. And as we go through the webinar, you're going to hear about a story about how Alicia got involved with me when I had a problem and ended up literally being a lifesaver. So, you know, we go way back together, but we're friends and real friends, and you guys are in for something rather special. Okay, so that's what I'm going to tell you now, that you guys are in for something rather special.
All right, sounds good, Harlan. So I think we're about to get started. I just wanted to give it a few more minutes. I heard some people sent me messages that they were going to be just a minute or two late and to hang on for them. So we're just letting everybody come on. Also, Nancy just said she wanted to send someone an invitation to come on. So if you want to invite somebody else to come on, go ahead and do that. And we're going to get started here. Let's give it about 45 more seconds, queuing up and getting ready to rock and roll. Get a cup of water now. Turn off all your distractions. Turn off the ringer on your cell phone. Close instant messenger, Skype, your email. You're going to need your undivided attention to see this.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
my friend Sylvia is on the line. Oh my gosh. Wow. And now there's another friend who I haven't spoken to in years and years and years. We were in business together years ago. We were in the hypnosis business. So way back when. So
welcome, Sylvia.
I'm ready when you are. I'm anxious to dig in.
All right, let's do this. All right, so here we go, everybody. Welcome to tonight's presentation. You're in for a real treat. As we were talking about before, hang on guys, just 1 second. Sorry, I'm just going to start it back up because we're recording this. All right, sorry everybody, I'm just going to start back. Welcome. You're in for a special treat tonight. We've got a special guest on the line. His name is Harlan Kilstein, and I've known Harlan for 9 years. So it's been quite a long time that I've known at least 9 years, maybe
could be longer
than that. So maybe 2003, 2004. And I've just had the pleasure of having Harlan as a friend. We've kept in touch over the years. I've done whatever I could do to help him in his business, and he has done the same. So I really appreciate Harlan, and I'm so happy to have him here tonight. We know this presentation and what Harlan's going to show you tonight, I know he's capable of, and the way that he teaches it will blow you guys away. So make sure to put away all distractions and get ready for Harlan. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm glad that you all joined us. Harlan, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Alicia. I'm so glad to be here. And you guys are going to learn something tonight. We're going to blow you away. And what you're going to see is real. What you're going to see is not pie in the sky. You're going to see how people just like you are building real multi-million-dollar businesses. Now, some of these businesses you are going to have heard of, and some of them are going to be new. But I invite you to check everything I say today, and you're going to learn what's happening online today. So I saw this article today that I wanted to share with you. It's about the best time to start a business. And a lot of people think that right now, the way the economy is, it's not the best time to start a business. But over half of the American Fortune 500 companies started during a depression or a recession, including Disney, Hewlett-Packard, Xerox, Ryder, the truck company, Revlon, Converse sneakers, Sports Illustrated, FedEx, Microsoft, CNN, USA Today, MTV, and Wikipedia. So the business that you start now may actually be the most opportune time for you to do it. So let's jump in. Now, on the internet, there have been lots of people playing a game. Hasn't been a very nice game, and it's called Let's Fool the Customers. And they may have made some money for a brief period of time. But what they did was they caused a lot of people to get upset, a lot of the customers, and this forced Google to step in. Now, we're going to be talking a lot about Google because Google brings major traffic. And one of the things that Google decided was that there was too much shenanigans going on the internet, and they had to intervene. Google stepped in a little over a year ago with what they called their Panda update. And their Panda update was designed to make websites more meaningful. Now, a lot of people were rolling their eyes and beating their chests and gnashing of teeth. But the bottom line was, it was about getting better information into your hands. And the operative thing that Google asked, and every single Google team, Alicia, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but their question that they trained all of the people who looked at websites, that they trained everybody who was buying traffic on Google, they prepared them to evaluate a website with one question. And the question was, what would you think, or how would you react if you found out that your own grandmother came and bought from this website? Have you ever heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Google actually decided to train their computer to think like grandma. And, you know, everybody thinks that the Panda update was named after the cute little bear that comes from China, but it was actually named after an engineer whose name is his last name is Panda. And Panda taught Google to think like grandma. And this is what grandma wants. They have a general, when they look at a website, the first thing that they say is, what's the experience of this website? Is it a positive experience? Is it a negative experience? What's the design and the user experience? Is it easy to navigate? Can I get around? Do I know where to click? Or do they try and lock me in? Is the content on the website interesting, and is it fun to read? Now, when Google came out with this, we blinked our eyes saying, wait a minute, Google, you have a sense of humor? And they not only want a website that is interesting, but they want grandma to be amused by it. So it's not enough that you have good, unique content, okay? It's got to be more than that. They want grandma to spend time on a site. If grandma's typing in information about her arthritis, they want her to be able to find it pretty quickly. They don't want her bouncing from site to site. Plus, they want grandma to be able to trust the information on the site. And she also wants to know that if she enters her credit card on a site, she's going to get what she paid for and it's going to do what it says. Now, let me ask you guys who are on the call here, and Alicia, tell me what the answer. Does this seem fair to you? Is Google being fair with creating this experience?
And of course, Harlan, I say absolutely yes. Terry's giving me a nice loud yes as well, but Samuel doesn't think so. So we've got
Samuel, what's the matter? What would you like to see instead? We want to rip off grandma? You can.
Of course not. And Did a lot says yes all the way. Samuel says, oh, I misunderstood the question.
Okay,
so,
all right. We were worried about that. Okay, grandma was going to come after you, Samuel. Okay, you're safe now. So Google wasn't done, and they came this year with the Penguin update. And the Penguin update was, and this is, for a lot of people, this is new. Here's what Google is against. They're against what's called bad neighborhoods. A bad neighborhood is a neighborhood where there have been a lot of complaints from users to Google. And this isn't very fair, but let's say you're in a niche of alternative health called back pain. Well, there have been so many people in the back pain niche who have been dishonest that Google took just about everybody in the back pain niche and said, okay, that's a bad neighborhood. There have been so many complaints about alternative healing sites, okay, and remedies that Google said, okay, this is a bad neighborhood. And there are many neighborhoods, I mean, needless to say, you know, the spam sites, the sites that are there to hijack you and take you to another site, those are all bad neighborhoods. Google doesn't want people buying links for SEO, and they spent a lot of time tracking down people who bought links, and a lot of sites were penalized big time for buying links, and that was all over the news. Comment spam, okay? If you have a WordPress blog, sooner or later you're going to start seeing bad, odd comments of people spamming your blog. Well, that means that you're linking to bad sites even if you didn't do anything and they started attacking your site. Google expects you to monitor that stuff and delete it. Article directories, here where people were plagiarizing other people's work and throwing it up and putting up articles that were written by people who spoke English as their 14th language. Google said those are not valuable anymore. Or people who want links, so they did guest posts on sites in those bad neighborhoods hoping for links from them, or doing guest posts on sites that had absolutely nothing to do with your post whatsoever. So, if you have a golf site and you post on, I don't know, a diet site, Google's not going to like that because it's not relevant. And then the other thing is over-optimization, trying to create your site, dropping in keywords so that it became meaningless. And instead of creating a site that grandma could read, it was just a site that was only aimed at getting to the top of the search engines and nothing more. So once again, I'm going to ask Alicia, I'm going to ask everybody else, is this fair or not fair?
Yeah, again, fair, and we're getting a bunch of fairs as well. So everybody thinks it's fair.
Okay, now the next one that came up, and this came up yesterday. I'm on this call. I'm in Las Vegas. And the reason that I'm in Las Vegas was to have lunch with someone who you're going to meet in just a second. Their latest update was about EMD. EMD stands for exact match domains. Now, if you have an exact match domain, let's say you wanted to start a site on strawberry picking, and you did strawberrypicking.com. Okay, well, in the good old days, Google would automatically put you up at the top because your domain name matched the keyword term. So you got a little benefit for being the first there to get that exact match domain. And Alicia, do you remember when people were buying domains with hyphens in them to get that exact match?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, gosh, that's a long time ago when hyphens were in fashion. That went out of fashion probably about 2005, 2006. But
Okay.
now, even if you have a legitimate site, Google, there have been so many shenanigans with exact match domains. This is one where Google is really messing up. And, I'm not pulling any punches here, is that honest people with exact match domains are being penalized. Yesterday, I stood next to a man. His family sells shoes, and they paid a lot of money for runningshoes.com, hikingshoes.com, snowshoes.com, etc. And under this latest Google update, which is just under a month old, their business has dropped off incredibly because of the exact match domain. Google bounced it from page 1 for running shoes to page they can't even find it. And that seems a little bit unfair. People were using these exact match domains to trick Google. So now an exact match domain may even hurt you. And Google hurt many, many businesses with this update. So this wasn't good that Google did. Now, this is Matt Cutts. Matt Cutts is the head of the Google spam team. And it's his job to make sure that Google search gives you results that are relevant. The number one thing that Matt wants is that when you go to Google and you type in an answer, you get the best answers for your search. And that's what this guy breathes. But people have been so mad at Google for years. Google is finally going to start opening up the door and sharing a lot more information with us. So what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is all the kind of things that Google wants to see. I do not believe in risks. I do not believe in gambling a valuable site that doing something wrong, black hat, illegal, or in any way that would threaten your business. And I know that that's the way that Alicia and Greg and do business, just honestly, just ethically. So here's a story. This is a website that Google, this is considered a bad website. Discover the hidden secret 10-step formula that cures any form of cancer guaranteed. From a 5-pound tumor to the size of nearly nothing in a matter of weeks is proof enough for me. It's unbelievable. I probably wouldn't have believed it myself had it not happened to me, but it's true. Google considers this kind of site to be a very negative site. There's no truth, there's no proof, and Google wants to protect everyone from sites like this. Now, that's not to say that alternative cures are all bad, but there were so many sites like this one, or like this one, this special diet that cures cancer and AIDS at the same time. Okay? Cancer does not have to be a death sentence. You have nothing to fear from cancer. HIV. Okay? Now, it happened that it's now over a year ago. My mother-in-law was stricken with cancer. And one of the first people that I turned to was Alicia, who spent a lot of time on the phone with me. And she told me what was going on and what to expect. And it took about 6 months to get my mother-in-law to start listening. At the time that she was diagnosed with cancer, the doctor gave her 4 months to live. He was very blunt. This isn't going to work. There are 4 months to live. And under Alicia's guidance now, we're coming up on 2 years. And That's a lot more time than 4 months. So I just want to publicly thank you for what you did for my family, Alicia.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great story.
Yeah, we're coming up, and absolutely true. You know that, and I just wanted the people on the
Thank
call to know the kind of person Alicia is. She was traveling all around the world at the time, and would take time out to call me and check up and see how things were doing, and give me ideas. And you know, it's hard fighting grandma to change her way of doing things, but ultimately we prevailed. So thanks once again. Now. This fellow right now is
Absolutely, Harlan.
this guy right now. He's got one of the ugliest sites on the internet. I'm going to show it to you. If you don't know who this is, this fellow in the hat, his name is Matt Drudge. This is what his site looks like today. It is considered to be one of the ugliest sites on the internet. All he does is post links to other people's sites. Okay? This is the top of his site today. The top is an ad, and then all of those links on the left-hand side, then in the middle, his headline. Alicia, is this a seriously ugly site?
Totally, totally ugly.
Okay, so ugly site, but watch this. He collects news stories from various sources around the internet. He posts a link on his site to those stories. There is no content on his site whatsoever. That site is a one-page site. His Alexa rank, that means how much traffic there is 426. The lower the number, the more the traffic. It's number 80 in the United States. That means there's serious traffic there. That's serious traffic. It's extremely expensive to advertise on his site, but there are just 2 full-time employees. Okay? 2 full-time employees, and yet Matt Drudge takes home from that site $30 million a year. Okay? How many people here would like to have an ugly website like that?
Me, right?
Me. Now, Alicia, does it
Yeah,
look
people
like
are saying me, and I do.
does that look like a hard site to build or to run?
Of course not. I'm so shocked. I'm surprised. I didn't expect you to reveal those numbers. I'm shocked.
Okay, wait. They get even better. Okay? They're going to get even better.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Okay. How many people know this handsome fellow? All right, type it in if you know who he is. People usually know who this is.
Nobody yet. Nobody yet. Why don't you tell us?
Okay, that's Greg
Yeah,
Caesar.
Perez
That's
Hilton.
Greg Caesar.
Oh, be careful. Greg's on. He's going to unmute himself, but everybody's now saying Perez Hilton.
That is Perez Hilton. Absolutely.
I look better than that.
Hey, Greg, glad you made it. Okay. I didn't even know you were on. I just said that. Okay. So that is Perez Hilton, and this is his site. Okay. He is just about, he is a muckraking gossip columnist. Okay. He runs the celebrity blog. He tracks the news. He adds his own flamboyant personality. He picked a fight with the Black Eyed Peas and got and like punched out their manager, or their manager gave him a black eye. He's kind of a nut. When Michael Jackson died, he said it was all a publicity stunt. He told everybody, you better go return your tickets because Michael just doesn't want to perform. His site gets huge traffic every single day. And just for reporting on the celebrity news, his blog is worth $32 million. $32 million. That's according to Fortune magazine.
Wow. Wow.
Now, here's the queen. This is Arianna Huffington, who got $315 million, and she wasn't done yet. Here's her site. It's the Huffington Post. Okay, that's what it looks like today. Arianna Huffington in 2005. Now here's interesting. Before 2005, Arianna Huffington was a conservative. her biggest website was a site dedicated to the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And then she found out that she couldn't go up against Drudge, so she decided that, you know what, this wasn't about morals or beliefs, this was about money. So she started a Huffington Post to be a left-wing site to counteract Drudge. She did it just for the money. Well, today its Alexa rank is 80. It's number 20 in the United States. That means gazillion traffic. Here's the way it works. The Huffington Post collects content from all over the internet. It adds its own content there to build some value. And it also has unique content and many guest bloggers. Now, Google loves the Huffington Post because it's constantly got fresh content. The Google tool that searches the internet, I'm going to blow you guys away, Greg and Alicia. The Google tool is at the Huffington Post site every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds,
Wow.
There's new content. Okay, and content includes comments and people sharing and liking and so forth. That's why every 2 seconds, Googlebot is there. It links to the original site, so if it gets information from Sports Illustrated, it'll link over to Sports Illustrated. It allows user comments, it allows for posting to social media, and it's become so popular that something amazing happens. It outranks the sites that it takes the content from. So, for example, if there's a story about Britney Spears in People magazine, and the Huffington Post takes the story from People magazine and rewrites it and sends a link over to People magazine as a thank you, Google likes the Huffington Post more because it's got more content and it's updated all of the time. Now, Arianna Huffington, she is happy. AOL bought the Huffington Post from her for $315 million. Now, they wanted to give her a lot of money in stock, and Arianna Huffington went, no. So out of the $315 million, she took $300 million in cash. How's that for a deal? I think
It is sweet.
I think Greg wants to get that for his site. Now, plus, she sold the site, and then AOL said, now you're not going anywhere because we need you to run it. So she's getting $4 million a year as a salary to still run the Huffington Post, even though she doesn't own it. And AOL took the Huffington Post and made it AOL News. Plus, they're giving her more money because they're expanding around the world. There's Huffington Post Canada, England. There's Le Huffington Post in France. And I believe that there's a Mexican Huffington Post. And every one of these, Arianna gets even more money for. This year, they started Huffington Post TV and a Huffington Post magazine. Now, look at this statistic. She gets over 1 billion views every single month since September 2011. That's 1 billion views a month. That's serious traffic. Now, these sites that we saw that were worth so much money, they're special because they do something that you can do too. So if you're sitting there saying, okay, this is really nice for them, but they can do it and I can't, well, I want you to hold on to your seats because you're going to see some stuff that should blow you away. Okay. What these sites are doing is that they're curating content. They're not like the old days. They're not sending reporters out. They're going and getting content that's out there and they are selecting it. Like curators in museums select what you see. And today, people just like you, people just like me, they're picking the most profitable niches and curating the content and creating valuable sites. And Google's sending them massive love. And I'm going to prove it to you. Here's a site. It's called Mashable.com. Mashable, Pete Cashmore started that in 2005, 2006 or so. And he was a teenager. He was 19 years old. This year, CNN said, we want to buy Mashable.com. And they offered him $200 million. And Pete Cashmore said, nope, not enough. And so now he's waiting for the next offer. Alicia, would you have taken the 200 million?
Wow. You know what? I probably would have, Harlan. I love Mashable.com, and I didn't even know that they were offered $200 million and turned it down. Interesting.
Right. And it was started by a kid. Just to give you an idea, it didn't always look like that. Okay. Or how about this site, Bleacher Report? Greg, have you ever seen Bleacher Report? It is.
No, I haven't.
It is a sports site, comprehensive sports site. It's got people who are reporting on the news for Bleacher Report, and because they are so into sports, they write for free just to see their name in print. And Bleacher Report sold a couple of $1 million a couple of months ago for $200 million. And these guys started it in high school. They didn't even know what they were doing, but they kept working on it and working on it, and they split $200 million. Okay? Remember, now this is the second site built by teenagers that became a multi-million-dollar site. And don't think that these guys were geeks or anything, or that they had any particular skills. They made all kinds of mistakes at the beginning, but they ended up building a really valuable site. Here's a site about skiing, onthesnow.com. Here's a site for religion news. They collect the religious news all around the world. Here's a site for music news, all about jazz. Here's a site for daily baseball news. Now this site, okay, I like this site a lot. Okay, Greg, Alicia, ugly site or not, what's the verdict?
I mean, to me, I think it's not so pretty, but you know.
Greg, what do you think?
Opinion. Greg, what about you?
I think it's okay. It's not, the Taj Mahal.
Okay. This site was started by a kid when he was 18 years old. 17, 18 years old. He turned around and ran the site. And what he did was he found that there was no place online that that you could find the interest rates and see what all the other banks were charging for credit cards and stuff like that. So he put this together so that people could go and check it. And eventually, it was considered the authority site in the niche. And when the banks, people would come into the bank, the people who sent the rates, they would come to Bankaholic and check what their competition was doing. It became the official site for bank rates, so to speak. And remember here, this is not a very attractive site, okay? And it was maintained by a kid who was not a geek. The only thing he was into was tracking bank rates. And if he saw something during the day about a rate change, he would be the first to have the news. Well, 3 years later, a bank came to him and said, okay, you've had your fun. We want that site. We want to be the site that everybody comes to for news. And they bought the site from him at age 21, $15 million. $15 million. Okay. When you're 21 and you have $15 million, you know what the number one thing is that's in your mind? I
what
can
kind of
do
car
that.
Am I gonna buy?
That too. Yeah, he couldn't spend all of that, but I can do it again. I can do it again. Okay. When Google bought YouTube, okay, from a bunch of, these were post-college students, okay, they bought YouTube for $1 billion. Okay, $1 billion. And now the guys from YouTube are building sites exactly like I'm showing you here. They're building these sites, these curation sites, and they have a site that's coming out that it's a secret site, but I'm going to tell you the name. It's called Zeen, ZEEN.com, and watch for it. It's going to be coming out soon, brought to you by the people from YouTube. This is going to be their next big play. What we do with curation, it's ethical. We don't scrape content. We don't take content without people's permission. We don't plagiarize. we always credit our source, and we always add something unique so that people say, oh, I'm glad I came to your site. And we always give people exactly what they're looking for. So what I want to do with you guys is I want to make sure that you understand what I'm doing here. So we're going to have a little quiz. Okay, this should be running shoes. Okay, what do you think, Alicia? Is that a good term, or do you think you could do better?
I think you could do better, but it describes, the type of shoes you're looking for, running shoes.
Okay. Is that person, when they type in running shoes, are they ready to buy right now? As they say, running shoes, okay, I got my credit card out, I'm ready to give you money, or you think maybe you could do better?
I think you could do better.
Okay. How about Nike running shoes? Are they ready to buy yet?
Yeah, now you're getting better.
Okay, getting better. How about this? Nike Free, which is a type of shoe, 5.0 running shoes. Is that still better?
Yep, that's definitely better.
Well, how about this one? Yellow Nike Free 5.0 running shoes, women's size 5. You think the person there has their credit card out? All right. Now, the only thing that would make that better if they typed in best price or lowest price. Okay. These are the way keywords go. You're going to get the most traffic for running shoes, but you're going to get the most sales down here. This is called a short tail keyword. These are called long tail keywords, and long tail keywords is where the money is. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. So here's one of my sites. It's about meditation. This site is all about meditation and ranking for long tail keywords. Here we ranked for meditation techniques of a famous teacher. We took our information from the New York Times, okay, and you see we quoted it and we link to that so that everybody knows it's not us. Then we this is what Google showed up. You see, the first is the original place it came from, which is where the New York Times took it from, the Times of London. Then came a site about meditation in London. Then came us, number 3. Then came us, number 4. And then came the New York Times. So we took our information from New York Times, but we outranked at the New York Times. That's how much Google likes these sites. So here's why Google loves my sites. There's frequent, interesting, original content. There's lots of interaction on the site. There's a large, growing number of backlinks, which we don't do anything to get the backlinks. They just come naturally. And when Google goes after Facebook links, that's going to double because we've got nearly 40,000 people who like us on Facebook. And we push the money button. We sell our own products right off Facebook. If you go to that page, you'll see that today I posted links to some of my own products right on that page and made some sales. We sell affiliate products right off Facebook, and people know it's a huge source of traffic, and people are constantly contacting us. Can we be on your wall? Can we be on your wall? Can we post an article? Okay, it's huge. This is 100% white hat. There's no funny stuff at all. It's Google friendly. We become an authority site, and then we attract a following, and we push the money button. We sell affiliate products. We make money on AdSense revenue. We sell our own products. We sell advertising. And then ultimately, we sell our sites for big money. Here is my future 7-figure site. It's called the Doggington Post. Okay? It's an internet newspaper, and it's all about dogs. Look, we have, probably tomorrow, we'll hit 50,000 fans on Facebook. Okay? This is insane. And by the way, this site is started, it went live on February 1st. Okay?
Wow.
February 1st. Now, look at the traffic. This is the traffic that we got just last month. we had 133,715 page views. Okay, so we're not up to 1 billion a month yet, but we're definitely on the way. Now, if you look at the graph down on the bottom on the right-hand side, you see 30% of our people come back again and again. So we're building raving fans who come back to us nearly every day and read our articles. So there's a site called How Much Is My Website Worth? And right before the webinar, I went in and I said, okay, how much is my website worth? Now, remember, it went up February 1st, and they say that the website in just over 6 months went up. It's now worth $213,717. Okay, that's
Nice.
not bad.
Yep, nice.
That's not bad for collecting other people's information and posting it. Here's what it looks like today. And you see what we do here is, just want to show you what we do. So on the right hand, on the top, it's Pitbull Awareness Month, and we invited everybody on Facebook to send us pictures of their pit bulls, and my email box is filled. And then we make a video. You see on the right hand side, your dogs make us smile. We put that in, their dogs' pictures in a video, and people just come to the site and watch it again and again to see their dogs. Okay, so we've got ads, we've got interesting things. The biggest thing is the stories about celebrities and their dogs. And on the left-hand side, we have Ralph. That's my column. Ralph is very cynical, and he's very funny from time to time. Sometimes he's serious. And today's article was, what do I do if my dog's food is recalled? I don't know, for any of you who have dogs, it's been a real problem this year in dog foods getting recalled. Now, you see that article down there? Okay, I wrote it last night. Up on, this was posted, I hit the publish button Wednesday morning at 3:21 a.m. Okay, I'm in the West Coast, so it was really 12:21. I wasn't up just quite that late. Okay, so I went to sleep right after I published this. I went to bed. I woke up in the morning, and at 7:45, there I am on the front page of Google. Okay, overnight front page of Google. What do you think of those results?
Yep, sweet, sweet.
Right, now I didn't do anything other than publish the article. So I didn't do any backlinking. I didn't do any funny stuff. All I did was publish, and Google looked at it and said, you know what? That post belongs on the first page of Google about dog food recalls. What do I do? And so we build a site, and so what this is just showing you, this is real proof that this stuff works. Here's a site that a friend of mine did. He did a site that was about sharing Christian videos, and he got bored with it. And in 6 weeks, he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And so he forced himself to do it for a few more months, and turned around and sold the site for $60,000. How many people here would work for 4 months and sell a site for $60,000? Or you'd rather?
I would. Yeah, awesome.
Okay. Just to give you an idea that these are real things that are happening. Another site that someone did, just like the site in the same area, in 6 months sold for $190,000. Okay? These are real sites that are selling every day. How people say, how much money can I make? How long does it take? We put up a post, best gift for meditators. It was before Thanksgiving, and we put it up. It was before Black Friday, when people were looking for gifts, and we put that up, and we got sales the first day. That's an Amazon product, We made money the first day, many days afterwards, and we were #1 in Google. We're still there, and that post is from last November. We have multiple spots. We made money the first day. So think about what the front page, as we go into the Christmas season, what would the best gift for golfers be worth? Okay? Can you think of people who, let's say they have the boss or a husband and they don't know what to get them, and they type in best gift for golfers? Okay? Now pay attention. The old way people taught about the internet was that you wanted to be on the first page for the word golf. Okay? You wanted to be on the first page for the word golf. But, best gift for golfers is where the money is. How about best gift for yoga students? This is a project that can start you making money in just a few weeks. Here, we did a specific solve the problem, meditation to relieve foot pain. This is page 1 of Google. We're #1, we're #2, we're #3, we're #4, and we're #5. That's insane. Or how about meditation techniques to relieve irritable bowel syndrome? We've got multiple positions on page 1. There are 20 million people in the US with this product, and guess what? We're going to go ahead and create a product for meditation with people with irritable bowel syndrome. Now, how would you like to market a product to them and own the first page of Google? Okay, that's what we do. First, we get the first page of Google, and then we go about creating products or putting affiliate links for them and make sales. We even outrank WebMD. Okay, that's how much Google likes what we're doing. So you can dominate a niche. There are a number of people who are crushing it with this method right now, all kinds of niches. The results are mind-boggling. They are on a meteoric rise to the top of Google. They do the same thing the Huffington Post does without a full-time staff. And you get massive Google love. And you're building a real business, okay? One that you can make money from pretty quickly, and also one that's going to make you money long term. Okay, this is not something that is going to go away because you're not bending the rules here. You're doing exactly what Google wants. You're making sites that are 100% grandma friendly. We use a tool to curate. This is something that I invented. It's called the Beach Millions Traffic Attractor. Once you learn the technique, the tool makes it easier for you. Here's a testimonial from one of my students, Dean Caparella. He's got 5 curation blogs pulling in money and traffic using this, and just saying that this is one of his top 5 courses that he ever bought. Okay, Genevieve, who is an absolute newbie, just appreciates that every time she asks a question, she gets answered within 24 hours and by someone sweet. And by the way, the person who answers our questions is Glenna, who's on the call. And Glenna helps everybody, okay? She helps everybody get going and is very patient. Even if they're asking the same question 20 or 30 times, Glenna's there to help them. Here's George, who finished the course, and he created a site about automobile hybrids. And it turned out that when he created the site, there was no one else who had a site on auto hybrids. And now people come to him because they want him to carry their videos. So that site's going to be worth some serious money. Here's Peggy. I like Peggy. Harlan's my hero, not the cape and kryptonite kind, but a true hero, the kind who delivers on his promises and still adds more, like blog curation. Trust me, I've been making my living solely from the internet for 5 years now. And despite what the others will tell you, there's no magic overnight success pill. But with blog curation, my sites are drawing traffic, the right kind of traffic, faster than ever, faster than anything out there. In fact, blog curation opened up 2 new streams of income I'd never thought of otherwise. Wow. This stuff works. Now, this is a guy who was an SEO expert. I'm not going to read you his whole thing, but he logged into an account. He used to do internet marketing the old way. He figured he would give this a try, and he found out that he was doing better than the old way and getting a lot more traffic because it was curation. He was so happy, he came back to me and said that his site got on the top of page 1 for a difficult to rank for keyword. He had a traffic spike. Blog curation works, works, works. Now this guy is the funniest guy. He was an SEO expert from South Africa, and he thought that I was full of it. So he bought the course, and he decided to test it. So he created 2 WordPress domains with the same keywords. One he did the old way, one he did my way. And doing it my way, he got, it outperformed it. Within 2 months, it had a higher page rank, it had more traffic, and he had first page rankings for 90% of his original targeted keywords. And this was an expert saying, okay, Harlan, you know what you're doing. Or Dr. Max, who went into a super competitive niche and is seeing real traffic. Okay. Or Misty, who was a total newbie to this. She had failed so many times in internet marketing. She realized that curation was the coming thing, but she said she was a computer semi-literate. Well, she actually got started, and she didn't think she was doing everything right, but then she saw she was on page 1 of Google. Harlan, you're amazing and the real deal. Here's Peter. I took off his topic. His blog started around 85 in Google in October 2011. It stayed there, stopped at 60, and in January 2012, it got to page 2 of Google, and then a couple of days later, it got to page 1. Now it's number 1 in Google. That's crazy. Another more easier topic went to page 1 just hours after he started it. Okay. Dr. Matt Welch. I like Dr. Matt. Dr. Matt is a chiropractor, and he bought the system, and this is a guy who just throws up lots and lots of sites. He believed the example of the long-term keywords, and he now owns the niche. I can tell you one of his niches is bass fishing in a certain location. And he went to help out one of his friends who was a bass fishing guide who had no business. And he put up a site, a curated site about bass fishing. Now that guy is number 1, and everybody else wants to know what happened to their business because he ate their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner. Okay? Blog curation is simple, and it works, and he's getting started. So you can forget about SEO. You don't need SEO. All you need to do is give people what they're looking for. So watch me as I create a thriving business, the meditation site, the dog site. We're building a financial site for son number 1. There's a golf site for son number 2. There's a hockey site for son number 3. And I didn't put it up there, but there's a figure skating site for my daughter who got mad that everybody else had a site but her. So she's getting a figure skating site. And it's up, and we're getting ready to go live on it. Now you can build a profitable site. There are 3 ways you can work with me. A lot of people say, hey, Harlan, you're building all those sites. Can I be a member of your family? Well, you can. You could work with me one-on-one. That means literally one-on-one. You pick up the phone or you pick up Skype, and you talk to me, and I work with you one-on-one. And this is for people who are serious about building a big niche. Okay, so my friend Sylvia is on the call. If Sylvia wanted to come in there and build a site all around hypnosis, well, she would become the dominant person in that niche that she knows already about. You have 8 personal sessions with me where we build your business together. You also get 21 recorded webinar sessions, and you get a secret email address so that your email goes to me. You don't work with Glenna, you work with me directly. And you get lifetime software upgrades. It's $2,000, or there are payment plans available. Our best value curation has 12 detailed webinars. It's actually 15 now because we're always adding, walking you through everything you need from niche selection to mastering curation techniques. There are 2 bonus money-making webinars. You get a membership site, You get comprehensive email support with Glenna for all of your challenging questions. You get software installation manuals, curation checklists. You get really great handholding. That's $497, or payment plans are available. And just to make sure that everybody can get in on this, we have something that's called Quick Start Curation. There are 5 recorded webinars. There are 2 bonus webinars on strategy. There's a live webinar to answer your questions. Foolproof niche selection the first week. We teach you how to curate. We teach you how to install the software, how to curate guides, best practices, and you get 60 days of email support. That's just $197. And a lot of people say, hey, Harlan, can I start with one and move up? And the answer is yes. And there's no penalty for moving up. We don't charge you extra. We just, whatever you, if you paid us $197 and you want to move up to the next level, you just pay the difference. There's no penalty. Now, we have 2 guarantees. Use our program, and for 30 days, you have complete unconditional money-back guarantee. If for any reason at all, let us know. You can have the complete refund, okay? And guarantee number 2, if you follow the program exactly as described, you curate content for 60 days straight as we teach you in the program. If you have not made significant improvement for your keyword terms, you can have your money back. So here are the 3 programs, and if Greg, you or Alicia can type the link in and put it in the chat box, it's blogcuration.com/DSP. blogcuration.com/DSP. Okay, now we've got some bonuses for you because you're on this webinar. In week number 1, we do how to pick your niche checklist, and you email support, and Glenna will help you pick your niche. We don't want you getting started on the wrong foot, and a lot of people say, I don't know what I'm doing, and they get scared they're going to make a mistake. So we help you, and we give you that bonus checklist, and Glenna works with you, and generally people are up and running in about a week. Week number 2, the bonus, we give you a secret link where my team will build your site for you and install the plugins we recommend. And if you have your own hosting, you can use that too. Week number 3, we give you a free premium theme for your site, and we'll even install it for you if needed. Okay. Week number 4, it's called the Money Webinar. This webinar shows you exactly how to make money with your website because we're doing this for the money. And let's just be week number 5. It says week number 6, the secret sauce that virtually guarantees lots of traffic. It's what we use at the Dogington Post to get our site from nothing to a major player in the industry in just a short period of time. And you can get the bonuses if you go here within the next 24 hours, blogcuration.com/DSP. And if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions. So Alicia or Greg, tell me if there are any questions.
I'm here, Harlan. So if so if anybody has any questions, please type it in the question box and I will ask Harlan. So any questions at all, please type it in the question box. My first question for you is, do you guys see the link that I posted in the chat box? Harlan wanted me to post it there. Click on it for me, make sure that I did it correctly, and just let me know a yes or no if it's clickable and all good and you can see it. I just want to make sure that you guys can see that before we move on to any questions. And for those of you that have questions for Harlan, go ahead and type it in the question box, questions or comments, so that I can ask him. And Harlan, everybody was just blown away by the presentation. You have, a lot of people just talking about the fact that they need to do this, they need to jump on it, just really excited from, Ron and I have been chatting a lot about how excited he is about it, as well as Rich, and did a lot. So there's a lot of people that were really excited about this presentation. So here's a question. I'm going to see if I can summarize it really quickly. And then if you guys can make sure that link is clickable and just let me know in the chat box that it's clickable, any questions you have, now's the time to type it in while we have Harlan on for a few more minutes. All right, so Ron says you motivate him to finally get started. So
Ron,
that's great.
Ron,
Sounds good there.
motivate you. We kick your butt. This is about making money on this, okay? This is about making money. This, if I make you money, you'll forgive me for kicking your butt, or maybe it's what you need. But the bottom line is, we want you to take action because we have something that actually works.
And Ron just replied, I'm all for that, and making money, yes, I will. So great there, Ron. Harlan, here's a question from Abe. I don't have a website at the time, only an idea, and I have no expertise in this area. How do I proceed?
So when you join, whichever program you join, we work with you, and you do not need any expertise at all. We have 70-year-old grandmothers who are doing this, who never did anything online. Even more than that, I have 3 people in the program who are stroke victims. Okay, they are stroke victims, and they're doing this. Okay, so literally, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, and we help you all the way.
All right, great answer there. All right, so let's see. So Kwambina just has a question about Google's history, and you started explaining this in the beginning. So, if you're doing things ethically with Google, is this something that will last long term?
Okay.
The methods that you're teaching, is that something that'll last long term?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. So the answer is, this is not something that's going away. I don't believe in doing something for a quick hit today and nothing tomorrow. Okay, that doesn't work for me. I'm interested in something that's really going to stay. Okay. All right, let's go back and go over just a couple of things. Let's go over the guarantee. Our guarantee, number 1, is you use our program any 30 days, any reason at all. You don't like the color of my hair, you don't like the color of your hair, just let us know, and you get a refund. Okay. The second guarantee is, I've made some pretty bold claims for it. We ask you to use our program for 60 days, and if you do, and it doesn't work as I say, we'll give you your 100% of your money back. We just ask you, use the program, and that's it. Those are the things, simple guarantees. We know that it works.
All right, and we just Great. And we just had a question. It was just a question mark, and it said programs. And so I think there's, because you said it doesn't matter which of the programs you pick. So the way that people see the different program offers by going to that page, blogcuration.com/DSP. Right, Harlan?
Right. And what you'll see there is what's on the screen right now. But if you click over there, you'll see some additional testimonials that I didn't share with you, and then you can get on board and just find out why this has been such a success. Now, remember, when you saw that site, the Dogington Post, and what it was worth in just 6 months, I do the same exact things that you do, and you get to see over my shoulders what I do. And I email you when I do something on that site. I email you and say, hey, pay attention to this. And you can do exactly as I do. With one exception, there was a guy who decided to copy my entire site word for word. And that was not okay. Cool. That was not okay.
Yeah, that is not okay. That is not okay.
He copied everything.
Yes, wow, not good. Harlan, Simon liked that guarantee, so he said, you know, most people would like to hear what you just said, so that was really good. We've got a question from Linwood. Harlan, if I have an existing site, can I retain my site but change the domain name to be more effective?
Well, from what we just heard from Google, the domain name isn't going to be much of a difference. The number one thing that Google wants to see is content, relevant content on your site. And we have lots of people who have used their domain. So the first thing that I would have you do is when you join the program, don't go and do anything without checking with us. We're there to help you. And it may be that your existing site can be used, because if you've got a domain name and there are no bad things about your site, you might want, if you're still in that same niche, you might want to continue in it. Okay, so we're here to help you. Just let us help you. Ask the questions, ask Glenna, ask me if you're in the one-on-one program, and that's it. We'll take it all the way.
All right, and I think you're going to talk about this in your course, but are you going to talk about which is more important, like the importance of content, the importance of backlinks? Do you go through that in your course?
Content, absolutely. Backlinks, we show you what we do, but this is, you don't need SEO. You just don't need SEO. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to make a prediction. When I was at lunch with Matt Cutts yesterday, he said Google's #1 goal right now is to level the playing field in SEO. So I'm telling you that within the next year or so, you're going to start hearing things from Google that SEO doesn't matter anymore. They want content and long tail keywords.
All right, great, great. Simon is asking, how many one-on-one sessions, Harlan? I think Simon's interested in the one-on-one coaching package.
You get 8 sessions, but when we see a dedicated student, we never turn them away. So I have students, we have someone who has a site about Brazilian beauty secrets, and he's such a good student of mine that he's way beyond 8. He just put out a book on Kindle, and he dedicated the book to me, you know, for going above and beyond in coaching him.
Nice. Love that. Love that. All right. Question from Ron. So the course helps build the site as well, correct? So Ron is just making sure that when he gets the package that he's going to learn how to build sites in this course.
Well, it's about building a big money site, and we work with you. There's a lot of hand-holding. In other words,
great.
We don't want you to become a professional site builder. Okay, we want you to become someone who has a successful site, not a site builder. You're not going to become a technician.
Great. Ron just said, great minds think alike, Harlan. Great minds think alike. All right, great. Let's see. And he just says, to clarify, the bonuses are for 24 hours?
That is correct. We want you to act, because the people who sit around and say, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? They're so paralyzed by fear. They're so paralyzed by fear that they're never going to take action. So we reward people for taking action, and that's why it is. Now, with that, there are people who sometimes, you know, like they're getting a check on next week, or, you know, whatever, they're making a payment or something like that's coming in. If that's the case, just let us know. And let's see, there's the email address. Just email us and say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. We've had this before. And someone said, hey, Harlan, I want to do the one-on-one, and I'm getting an insurance settlement next week. Can I do payment in full next week? And the answer is yes. So just let us know, and we'll take care of you. But if you say, hey, Harlan, I want to do this next March, can I still get the bonuses? Well, the answer is that's not 24 hours.
Yeah, got it. All right, makes sense, Harlan. Let's just take 1 or 2 more questions. So if you've got a question for Harlan, this is your last chance to get it in. Harlan, a quick question here. Now realizing Google's changes and the undesirable links, if somebody has undesirable backlinks, can they get them canceled or removed?
and Google came out and discussed that yesterday, and now it's called the Google Disavowal Service. And Google now created a tool, and first they want to see proof that you tried to remove the sites yourself. So let's say you went and you bought backlinks from someone, and now you went, uh-oh. So they expect you to try. After you've tried, you can submit all those links to Google, and Google will just pretend those links aren't there. So yeah, but in other words, if you did some serious stuff that was bad and you give them, like 300 links to Eastern European porn sites, they're probably not going to forgive something like that.
Yeah, got it. And you said that's Google's, what was the name of that service?
It's called the Google Disavowal Tool, and you get that in your Google Webmaster Tools. It's just started yesterday. That's what Matt was talking about during lunch. So this is the latest information.
Yeah, so you're obviously on top of this. You're in the mix with everything that's going on here with Google and their updates and that sort of thing.
Yeah, if there's any kind of change in Google, we let you know, typically within 24 hours of it happening.
Yeah, that's really great. All right, Abe says, was that money back guarantee 30-day? Is that what you said? It was a 30-day money back guarantee?
There are 2 guarantees. The first one is 30 days, no questions asked. Color of your hair, color of my hair, color of Alicia's hair, especially Greg's blue hair. If you don't like the program for any reason, just let us know. The second one is use the program for 60 days, and if it doesn't get you the results that we promise, then we'll give you your money back.
I think that's totally fair. Do you guys think that's fair? You agree? Do you think that's fair? I think that's totally fair. All right, so let's do 1 or 2 last questions. I think we'll go for one more, and I'm trying to understand this question here about YouTube. And I think it's something you said, Rich is asking something you said about YouTube being broken. So are you trying not to organize or curate videos on channels in YouTube?
No, we're not doing it on YouTube. We want to bring people to our site because it's easier to make money on our site than it is on YouTube. YouTube's still pretty restrictive about making money on their property, and quite frankly, I'd rather host the dance in my backyard than in Google's backyard.
Got it. All right, thanks. Thanks for that question, Rich. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with Harlan here. But if you guys have any other questions on the program, how to get started with the program, if you need his team to contact you, you've got the email address right there to contact his team, or put your name and number in the question box, and we'll make sure to pass that on to him so that he can get in touch with you. So, Harlan, it was fabulous having you on tonight. And Greg, are you still there? I think Greg is muted, but let's see if Greg is still
I am.
there.
Can you hear
Greg.
me? And by the way, my hair is not blue anymore.
It's not blue? You changed it since we told everybody?
I changed it 20 minutes ago.
Okay, there you go. So Greg, any thoughts on this?
To say incredible would be an understatement.
Well,
an absolute understatement. And I will tell you guys, I did something with curation, and what I'm surprised is how fast the traffic actually comes in. So I love curation. I think it's a great business model. It's a great way to get quick traffic and build a site that has amazing traffic to it. So I absolutely love the model.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, thanks, Greg, for being there. Thank you, Glenna, for being on. And I just want to wish everybody a really good night, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, and Harlan, you're getting a whole bunch of thank yous back. So if everybody, you would type into the question box what you thought of tonight's presentation so I can pass it on to Harlan. Let's give him a big round of applause and a bunch of thank yous. That would be absolutely fantastic. So Thanks everybody for joining us. Harlan, great presentation, and I encourage you all to head on over to his website, blogcuration.com/DSP. Check out the packages that he has to offer, and as he said, you've got a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. You know, if you don't like the color of Greg's hair, you can ask for a refund, but that's definitely there to make you guys feel comfortable, so take advantage of it. He's just removed all the risk. You might as well jump in, check it out, and start building some money sites. And just remember, Greg and I introduced you to Harlan when you get that big
when
check.
You get the big check. That's great. By the way, just in case you guys think that I'm kidding,
right?
I'm holding out for 10 figures on the dog site. I've been told that I can get, not 10 figures, I can get 8 figures for the dog site if I build it for 2 years. Okay, that's $10 million. That's my goal.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Love it. Great.
All right, everybody.
You're like, yes, I know it's awesome. All right, sounds good. Take care, everybody. This is Alicia. I'm going to be on for just a few more minutes answering any questions, and if you've got any, if you need to send your phone number or email over to Harlan's team, type it in the question box now, and I will pass it on before I jump off here in 2 minutes. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and get started in Harlan's program and build your money site. Take care, everybody. Bye.